Hey, friendo, Steve here.
Yeah, Larson.
Welcome back to Steve and Larson's Pro Wrestling Podcast, ruining pro wrestling podcasting since 2014. A huge Monday Night Raw last night. Not only did we get Gunther's contender for the world title there at SummerSlam coming up. You called it last night. It's one Phil Brooks, CM Punk.
I called it weeks ago in my SummerSlam predictions.
Did you?
Yep.
I mean, you could just say that. I wouldn't remember because my memory is terrible.
Go check the video.
Not going to do that. So, CM Punk is your versus Gunther is going to go down at SummerSlam. We also have the women's world title up for grabs in a triple threat happening at SummerSlam. But probably the biggest news, I know it is because I'm putting it on the thumbnail, is the return of the WTC1. Roman Reigns, that new logo, his spider logo looks kind of like a W, like the top part.
It's two R's back to back for Roman Reigns.
Yeah, no, I get that, but like it's got,
No, I understand. It's the branding.
Look like an R.
The branding for Roman has gotten progressively worse through this whole tribal chief thing. He was the tribal chief. All right, get it.
Right.
Then he was the original tribal chief. All right, get it, because
but even that
the solo thing.
Even that kind of doesn't make any sense because like they had a whole PowerPoint presentation of tribal chiefs past.
Exactly. But now we got OTC 1, original tribal chief 1, but the problem is the original, doesn't that kind of indicate that he is the first, therefore, which isn't true anyways, it's because of the PowerPoint as mentioned. And the 1 is superfluous. It's redundant.
Maybe it's a clone of Roman Reigns. I'm just thinking like in Star Trek, when the Enterprise, for example, remember what happened at the end of Star Trek 3?
Yeah.
The search for Spock?
Yeah.
The Enterprise, they self-destructed it with a bunch of Klingons on board. Pretty brutal. Savage.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
Get out of there! Yeah.
And thank you. Yeah. What happened when Star Trek 4 at the end of that? They got a new one.
Yeah, they got a new one.
And what they call it? 1701 A. Oh, no, that doesn't make any sense because then it would be OTCA.
Yeah.
Okay, so that doesn't make any sense either.
No.
I had to talk that one out.
Yeah.
So the OTC one is back. His shirt, it just looks like the R to R always looks like a spider to me.
Yeah, I think that's what it's supposed to look like.
That's a whole other conversation.
I don't know why, because at no point did Roman ever have spiders in his branding. It was the Shield were the Hounds of Justice, not the Spiders of Justice.
So anyways, the whole thing is throwing us for a loop. Not only that, Larson, they've got this, and I'm going to save my full bore review. Some things I got to say for WrestleJuice. And over at WrestleJuice, I talk about the belts a lot. My full bore review of the title itself.
With Roman's face on it, yes.
With Roman's mug on it. OTC 1 sounds like his plane.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Maybe like Qatar gave him like a $400 million plane.
Or like it's like a new over-the-counter, like a weight loss drug.
Yes. OTC
1.
Yeah. God, we're horrible. Anyways, this is a terrible podcast. So yeah, he came back, dapped up Jey Uso, and made Braun Breaker look like an asshole.
Yeah.
As he runs away in fear, along with Bronson Reed, and CM Punk's like, "Hey man, how's it going?" So
well, he wanted to get dapped up too.
He did. He was like, "I don't get some of that love." Also, we were in this together as dudes who got duped by Paul Heyman, even though we were both kind of assholes in that situation.
Yeah.
And so, So I mean, does this look like what? Are we gonna get the tag match on Raw next week or at SummerSlam, Larson? What is this, a pay-per-view match? The Roman and Jay match versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed? Is that what you think?
It's either that. Happen? Like, I wonder if it was supposed to be Seth versus Roman at SummerSlam. Now, given Seth's injury, the plan is shifted to either Roman versus Braun, because I did mention that when Braun joined up with Seth, he did spear Roman. So maybe that's the match.
Okay.
Or, as mentioned, maybe it is the tag match. I don't know. I guess if you do the tag match, it protects Braun, which they seemingly kind of want to do.
Yeah, because Reed eats that pin.
Yeah, they have no issues protecting, or no worries about protecting Bronson Reed.
Yeah.
That way, Roman and Jay win by defeating Bronson Reed. Braun takes the L, but not the pin.
Mm-hmm.
I guess if their primary goal is to protect Braun Breaker in this whole thing, then that's the way they're going to go.
By the way, let's just pause there because I think that's a possible situation. Awful move if that's the case. I know everything can change, and it's entirely possible that it is a creatively fluid situation and they do have other plans, and this is merely the first plot point in this pivot because of the Seth Rollins injury. But it was revealed that Paul Heyman revealed that the briefcase remains with Seth Rollins because, as he said correctly, he's got till June of next year to cash this thing in. Do you think that will remain the situation, or do you think it's possible that, Paul Heyman was hyping up Braun Breaker last night in a really great promo, referring to him in the same strokes as Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, called him the big dog, called him the next big thing, said this is his yard. Braun Breaker could not get the win to go to SummerSlam. I think at that point it'd be kind of interesting if Braun Breaker was like, you're going to give me that damn briefcase and I'm going to cash in. He forces the issue. And we had sort of talked about that as a possibility yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Or do you think they're going to just put the damn thing on ice and that's not what we're going to get? Where do you see them going with Braun Breaker and the Money in the Bank briefcase?
I would assume they're going to put the whole thing on ice until they got a much clearer picture of Seth's prognosis, at the minimum. They're not going to make any drastic moves until they have a clear understanding of the nature of his injury and how long he's going to be out. If it's for his knee, worst case scenario, ACL, maybe another ligament tear, which is probably 9+ months he's going to be out of action, then they might think, all right, well, maybe we could entertain some ideas regarding Braun, if that's even a concept they're even considering at this point, which they might not.
There was no indication last night that was the situation. And in fact, what I got from last night is Braun looks kind of like an asshole. He didn't really step up. They're still Seth's guys until otherwise.
If it's a situation where Seth avoided significant injury to either his meniscus or his ACL, if it's an injury comparable to what he had going into Mania 40, then maybe the idea is, all right, again, we'll just kind of be in a holding pattern. Seth will be back in a couple months. Or even the injury he had leading up to Mania 33, which I don't think he missed much of any time with that one. That was the MCL tear, I believe. Then, all right, holding pattern. Give him a few weeks, a month or two to recuperate and rest to make sure he's healed up, as opposed to push through like he did last time because it was leading into his Mania match against Triple H. And kind of get back on the course we were going. It all depends on how long they think Seth is going to be out. Or
if it's a month, it'd be silly for them to pull the trigger on Braun Breaker going rogue.
Yeah.
If it is going to be a lengthier period of time, if it's going to be 9 months, I believe they said that they were going to get that MRI yesterday, I think.
Yeah, because I guess it was fortuitous. They were in Birmingham, Alabama, and that's where Dr. James Andrews, like the most famous sports sort of orthopedic surgeon in the world, probably, or at least here in America, conducts his business. So I would imagine Seth went and saw him first thing yesterday morning and got the MRI done. Now is whether Paul Heyman, I think, was kind of speaking for the company when he was asked, hey, what's the results of Seth's evaluation? We don't know yet. Now, whether we hear Friday on SmackDown or we wait till next Monday on Raw to get the prognosis, I would expect there to be some sort of announcement on TV because it's going to have potentially a great amount of bearing on what happens. I don't know if it'd be a situation where Seth comes out and, does the whole promo thing, hey, I'm going to be gone for a little while, or if it's a situation where Heyman just kind of says, Seth Rollins is going to miss 6 to 9 months, Yeah.
Hey, that was a good Paul Heyman.
Oh, hey,
there.
thanks.
You don't usually do the Paul Heyman. Man, let's talk about the women Because I'll be honest with you, even though Roman came back, that was a big deal, big pop, huge pop for Roman last night. Great crowd there in Birmingham. The women just feel vital right now.
Yeah.
They feel like the thing. And it's funny because I think this was in my over at Wrestle Juice. Somebody dropped a hot take for Saturday night's main event, or Evolution rather, one of the two. Said the WWE's women's division is their best division right now. You and I have talked quite a bit about how the men's division is a win now division, but like now, because within a couple years, you're going to see some pretty significant departures. I don't know how much longer CM Punk has, for example. He's our age, which, as we talk about a lot, we are old.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns has said he's got probably 2 years max left to be doing this. Cody will be around for a while, probably. Seth will probably be around for a while. But, you know, they're starting to build up some guys like Braun Breaker. They've got some interesting talent in NXT. But all of that is potential. They got a lot of potential on their roster.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of stars that are built now and have another 5, 10, 15 years on them, not a lot of them in the men's division. You look at the women's division, oh my God, that is built for now and the next 5, 10, 15 years.
Yep.
And so you look at Naomi, who obviously, I mean, she's been around for a while, but this new iteration of her is, in my opinion, absolutely wonderful. And she comes out with her promo. You know, she gets whatted once and has fun with it, knows how to handle it like a veteran, and delivers a really fun promo. Rhea Ripley comes out, says, I had 2 things on my mind. I wanted to beat Io for the first time because I've never done that, and I wanted my title back. Well, now you're on my list. That brings out Io Sky, who might have gotten a bigger reaction than Rhea Ripley.
I know.
She is so over right now.
Yep.
So she comes out and she says, you know, Rhea, you get to the back of the line. And then Naomi laughs it off and says, both of y'all get back of the line, way back of the line. She said, before Rhea comes out, Naomi said something like, all those heifers in the back have to wait. None of them are going to get a shot. She's having so much fun with it.
Yeah, she is.
And so that brings out Pierce, and he's like, we got a triple threat at SummerSlam. It's only 3 weeks away.
Yeah.
This has got to be, I mean, Naomi's got to win this thing, right?
Yeah,
this
she
is
has
gonna
to
push.
win this. Yeah, she has to win this. I mean, it's one of the side effects of having so many major shows so close together is we have instances, specifically with the gauntlet match, where it's just like, all right, we got to have a match to come up with somebody for Gunther to take on. You know, there's not really a story that builds up to that match organically. It's like we need a contender, and then for the 3 weeks, we'll muster a story together. It's been a lot of that lately, and so that it WWE is really leaning on the characters they have to make these matchups and these feuds interesting. Mm-hmm. And when the characters are charismatic and multidimensional and complex and enjoying what they're doing, it keeps it all together, or can keep it all together. But there's instances, too, where matches are thrown together. You're like, why? And I think even the performers, to a certain extent, are like, why? And you don't get that. You know, and I don't know what the nature of the beef is going to be between CM Punk and Gunther, for example, that's going to make the match compelling from a story perspective. I don't know. Hopefully they can crack something in 3 weeks' time. Because if not, it's a match that I think a lot of people want to see. But in terms of adding weight to it, it's going to be tough if they can't find something.
Yeah, I mean, what they're probably going to do is just Gunther's going to say, you're old and you're washed. And it's sort of like he just did that with another guy.
Yeah, well, I mean, like the reports there were some reports, I think late last week, earlier this week, that, I don't know if I'm going to get, it's months in advance, so whatever. But, you know, there's a possibility that Gunther could be in line for someone else's last match later on this year.
Oh, what, like Cena?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that'd be interesting. Yeah,
so maybe that's Gunther's thing now, is he wrestles all the older wrestlers and says, all right, you're too old for this. Pal.
I mean, yeah, that's sort of like a different. Yeah, that's just sort of a twist on the old Legend Killer thing, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fine. I'm cool with that. I think it'd be pretty interesting actually if he went around retiring people because, like I said, there's a bunch of people out there. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, Gunther's on this path. Punk has said that he doesn't want the world title. Like, wouldn't he have just not been in the gauntlet if that was the case? I don't know. I see what you're saying, but also we just came off of an Evolution where like half the matches were not built for Evolution, but they were built via just natural story progression.
Yeah. I think I was just talking specifically, although I think in a larger sense it is an issue, not overall, but it is an issue with so many shows happening so close together. There's just a lot of matches that are just kind of put together, or matches that are motivated, but there's not enough there storyline wise for the match to feel like, all right, this is important.
I mean, no, look, I definitely feel what you're saying, and having Gunther do Goldberg and then Punk back to back, I absolutely understand. Sort of eliminates the whole like, okay, well, there's not really a story between these two. But in the case of Gunther, he's like he's the championship. As much as Moxley used to say he was the AEW championship, Gunther is the championship. The dude's been champion of some sort in WWE for like 80% of his run there, probably more now. And so Punk getting this, yes, Punk literally was just saying, I came here, I didn't even want the world title. And then he found himself in a world title shot with Cena, and then he hops out of that, and he hops directly back into a world title. It probably would have behooved him to be like, hey, Punk, you should say that you want the world title.
Another thing that was interesting last night, like so much of the gauntlet match, I don't know. You know me, I love gauntlet matches.
Yeah, they're great. Who doesn't? They're amazing.
It was strange to me that this one was just kind of randomly declared no DQ when that's not necessarily a feature of gauntlet matches. And then we didn't hear from Punk in advance of gauntlet match.
Yeah, he just showed up at the arena.
He was just there at the end and for his match, and that was it.
Yeah.
No backstage interview, no promo ahead of the show, nothing talking about, I lost to Cena, but that was on Seth. Now Seth isn't here. Now he feels like his path to maybe securing a championship, which he said he never won, he's got to explain that too, is clear because he doesn't have to worry about Seth interfering or cashing in.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there's something. Flush it out a little bit.
Yeah. We're going to talk about the rest of Monday Night Raw here in a moment, but we also have some sponsors for the show today, Larson, so let's go ahead and talk about them.
Let's do it. Let's take a break, get a word from our sponsor, Delete Me, Steve, every day.
Yes.
I'm looking at the headlines, and I see a story about a data breach or regulatory rollbacks that are making us all vulnerable.
Ah, man, it's maddening. I understand that. But you can do something about it. Delete Me is here to make it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online.
As you know, Steve, privacy is a huge deal for me. It drives me absolutely crazy whenever I get a letter in the mail saying that my personal data has been breached and it's just floating out there on the internet. Thankfully, Delete Me is here to help. It does all the hard work of wiping that personal information from data broker websites, and it's not just a one-time service. Delete Me is constantly working for you, monitoring and removing the personal info that you don't want on the internet, and Delete Me will send you regular privacy reports detailing what info they found, where they found it, and what they removed.
So take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me. Now at a special discount for our listeners, today get 20% off your Delete Me plan by texting RAW to 64000. The only way to get 20% off is to text RAW to 64000. That's RAW to 64000. Message and data rates may apply.
And this episode of Steve and Larson's Pro Wrestling Podcast is sponsored by him, Steve.
Yes.
Spoke about it yesterday. You know I'm a huge baseball fan, and when summer comes around, I'm usually rocking the hat of my favorite team.
Yeah, dude, you are. But are you wearing that hat to support your squad? Or
what? Or am I wearing it to cover up this thinning hair I got up here? Is that what you're going to ask me, huh?
Oh, man, Larson, don't be so sensitive. But let me tell you, man, Hims offers access to a range of prescription treatments that are a home run for hair regrowth so you can see big league results by the time the season winds down, man.
Hims offers convenient access to a wide range of doctor-trusted prescription hair loss treatments with ingredients that are clinically proven to work. And it's 100% online, so you can get started from the comfort of your home. You can do it right from your couch. All you got to do is fill out an intake form, and a medical provider will determine if treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your treatment is sent directly to your door for free. So, Steve, let me hear it. You got any more baseball terms you could throw at me, huh?
You know me, I'm #1 baseball fan. How about this? Don't strike out when it comes to this opportunity, Larson. Start your free online visit today at hims.com/goinginraw. That's HIMS.com/goinginraw for personalized hair loss treatment options. hims.com/goinginraw. Individual results may vary based on studies of topical and oral minoxidil and finasteride. Prescription required. See website for full details, restrictions, and important safety information. And now we're out of here.
All right, let's jump into it.
That's how I feel too. Yeah, let's talk about this whole Gunther situation. So backstage, we've got Jackie with Paul Heyman, Braun, and Bronson with the update. Jackie asks Heyman about the results of Seth's evaluation. Heyman says, "I don't have that info. It's too soon. Seth Rollins has until next June to cash in. So until he's at that deadline, his health isn't relevant. What is relevant is Braun Breaker runs the gauntlet, goes through everybody in his way, and emerges as the #1 contender, punches his ticket to SummerSlam, becomes your next world champion." So later on, that brings out Gunther. He says, people are like, boo. And I think they're chanting Goldberg at him.
Yeah.
And he says, "I don't get the issue. I'm in a great mood today." He says, "This past Saturday, the ring general Gunther retired Bill Goldberg." He says, "I know you guys here aren't the brightest, but he's not here tonight. He's not coming. I kept every promise I made. I bullied him. I humiliated him, blew him up, choked him out, and ended the myth of Bill Goldberg." He says, "Who's next?" with a smile on his face. He says, "We'll have an answer soon. Don't worry. In the next moments, I'm heading up to the suite, and 5 of the top competitors are going to compete." Larson, my only sadness about that, he goes up to the suite. No hot dog, no glizzy, man.
You just had a bottle of water there.
You gonna go up there? No glizzy, no lemonade, no popcorn.
Guess not. No popcorn, no nachos.
Guess not. So, anyways, he says, "I don't care who wins." He says, "For me, when that bell rings, they're all," and then he gets cut off by Braun Breaker's music. That once again gives us a Paul Heyman promo.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman." Gunther says, "Mr. Heyman, I'm aware of what your name is. I made my points. I'm not interested in listening to what you have to say, so I'm leaving now." Well, Braun Breaker gets in his way. I liked when Gunther was just going to dip out of there. He's like, "I don't really care what you have to say."
He literally doesn't care who his opponent is.
I know, it's great.
It is great.
So Braun steps to him, and Paul's like, "Stick around, Gunther. This applies to you." He says, "Tonight, Braun runs the gauntlet." Copy-paste what he said earlier. He says, "That's no easy task, but you haven't been speared until you've been speared by Braun Breaker." He says he's the next big thing. He's the big dog. This is his yard. You're not this. I love this line. He says, "You're not looking at just another contender. He's a Steiner." He says that means he'll break through everything in front of him, break the glass ceiling, and break your ass at SummerSlam. There's going to be a new world heavyweight champion, a long-term champion at SummerSlam, and his name is Braun Breaker. Nah. But he did get pretty far because the first match in the gauntlet was Penta versus
He did
Braun.
get pretty far. I mean, he started first and got to the very last match in the gauntlet.
Yeah.
And maybe if it weren't for Jey Uso coming out and interfering, then maybe he would have won this. I just wish, again, like it'd been nice to hear from Punk before the match. It'd also been nice to hear why this particular gauntlet match was competed under no disqualification rules. Like, did Heyman lobby Adam Pearce to make that happen? It just seemed arbitrary. I mean, the rationale is so Bronson Reed can interfere. I looked up last night whether gauntlet matches are usually no DQ, and they are not. I understand it's just a way for Bronson Reed to legally interfere in the match. But it just, again, seemed arbitrary.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with that. So anyways, Penta and Braun kicked things off. Finish to this was great because it was Braun's spear out of nowhere is scary quick. Like that first step of his,
Sudden.
because it's so sudden. Penta comes off the ropes for like a springboard thing, like a disaster kick type thing or whatever he's going to do. And fucking Braun in like 2 steps goes full speed into a spear. And it's like the perfect timing, perfect placement. Everything's perfect about it. So yeah, Braun advances there. LA Knight,
Yeah.
is out next. Things slow down a little bit. But in the end here, so there was a cool moment here where so Knight is going for a BFT. He catches Braun midair with a power bomb.
Yeah.
I think that was the counter. That was really cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
Braun rakes his eyes, hits a fireman's carry gutbuster, and then hits a spear to advance to the next one. That brings out Yeet Jey Uso.
He's on the verge of winning this until Bronson Reed pulls him off the top rope. Another spear. Jay's out. Braun Breaker advances, and then CM Punk is out last.
Yeah. So they go at it a bit, and then so he goes up top for an elbow drop. Bronson Reed's back in. Punk fights him off, hits the elbow for 2. Anaconda Vice. Reed slides in, hits an elbow drop. Reed beats on Punk. Jey Uso comes back out to help Punk. Kicks Reed out, hits a suicide dive. Breaker goes for a spear, but you know, this is one of those small things that I can't stand about Breaker's spear is that it's so fucking fast and violent, and yet if it's Punk or if it's Sammy or whoever,
throws a foot out there and breaks it up. Yeah,
they just sort of chuck a limp foot out there. He should turn that foot into dust.
Yeah, he should bite it.
He really should. But anyways, it's the counter that works. So Punk throws up his foot, kicks Breaker, GTS, covers, gets the win. Him and Gunther stare off. Reed attacks Punk. Uso's back in. Breaker takes out Jay. And then the WTC1 shows up. Cleared for landing, OTC1. And Reigns comes out to a massive ovation.
Yeah,
people are very happy to see him.
Super loud.
Superman punch to Reed. Braun misses a spear. Reigns attacks Breaker and hits Reed with a Samoan drop. Superman punch to Breaker. Spear to Reed. Roman he daps up Jay. Helps up Punk as he gets to his feet. They all stare at Heyman's group. And Braun looks so weak. He was sort of on the ground there, like looking up in fear. And I'm like, nah, man. He should be frothing at the mouth, and Reed should be holding him back to get back in there.
Exactly. My favorite part of the whole post-match stuff is that when Gunther was talking shit to Punk, Gunther was he would be doing something, and then he'd look up at the scoreboard video board to see if he was on camera. One time he did this. That was great.
Thought he was on that kiss cam there.
He wanted to make sure that he was saving his best for when he was on camera.
Yeah. Start doing the dancing thing, and then he looks up, sees him. Oh, hey, I made the dancing thing.
He was there doing the Cabbage Patch.
Oh, man. Before we continue on, because I'm really interested to talk about this Naomi, Rhea, Io stuff, because I think it's really good. We have an update. We have several updates now. So, as we announced yesterday on the show, we did have a new champion for Friendo in the Bank, and it was Raph. Raph reached out and pointed out a discrepancy in the scoring thing, and I looked back at it, and I double-checked, and it was something that slipped off our radar, and Raph's honesty cashed in on Raph. Mm-hmm. So Raph is not actually, there was a miscalculation, and Raph, thank you so much. I love the Friendos because they're freaking honest about stuff, you know?
Yep. It's great.
Raph noticed this, like, hey, I don't think this is right. I'm not the champion. So we do have a new champion, and it's Sam 5167. So Sam 5167. We double checked the numbers on this, and Sam is the legitimate winner. I will be reach out to us either by emailing friendoclub@gmail.com, or if you're on the Patreon, please reach out to us via DM there, or you can hit us in our Twitter DMs at Steve and Larson on Twitter. And we'll arrange for your prize to be sent out to you. Mm-hmm. However, Sam, there is a wrinkle, because Jack Showtime has confirmed that Jack Showtime would like to cash in Friendo in the Bank.
Ooh.
This is a brand new set of possibilities inside that briefcase. We're going to be cashing this in on Thursday. This Thursday's episode, we'll be cashing in Jack Showtime's Friendo in the Bank. We noticed in the past that the Friendo in the Bank stipulation heavied way too favorably, as Larson will tell you, a loss. You had to be within too close of a distance to the top guy in predictions. And so now we made a lot more fun, clever entries. I'm going to tell everybody what they are, because one of these will be drawn on Thursday for Jack Showtime, who may or may not become our first successful cash-in. Here are the options. These are all going to be in individual slips in that briefcase. The only reason we're not doing today is because I didn't have time to print all these out. I wanted to get them, run them by you, make sure you're cool with them, tell Jack Showtime, all that stuff. So here are the options. Number 1, congrats, a winner is you. Means he wins. Number 2, oh my God, you ran to the ring, dragging a ref with you. You cash in, the bell rings, and 5 jackknife powerbombs later, you go for the pin. 1, 2, 3, Jack Showtime equals win. Next option. It's Raw After Mania. The champ has just finished a brutal match. You were hiding under the ring all show and emerge with a ref to cash in. They ring the bell. No turning back now. You hit a famouser. Kick out. Hit another famouser. A third. 1, 2, 3. You are champion. Guaranteed win. 2 other options here. You get 10 points added to your prediction score, which in this case would not help Jack Showtime. I think he said that he's 15 back.
He's quite a bit back, yeah.
So this next one, you get 20 points more, would get him the win if he is in fact 15 points back. Here's another option. There's 10 altogether. You tried to cash in, but the champ threw your briefcase, so it wasn't made official. You look like an asshole, though. He lives to cash in another day. Here's another one. You tried to cash in, but the champ kicked you between your legs, so it wasn't made official, and now everyone's laughing at you, but your contract lives on to cash in again. He gives us this other one here. You tell the ref you want to cash in. The bell rings. Oh, my God, Rawgate Mutant appears out of nowhere. You get sucked into Rawgate Mutant, and therefore your cash-in fails.
Rawgate Mutant appearance, huh?
Yeah. He says, I said, not only did you lose, you're now forever part of the Rawgate Mutant in the Mutantverse.
Does that mean that if Jack Showtime pulls that one, he can never compete for predictions ever again because Jack Showtime's in Rawgate universe?
Oh, I don't want to do that to him.
I'm just asking.
How about this? Under the name Jack Showtime, yes.
Okay.
He'll have to rebrand
Listen,
himself.
I'm not suggesting it as an option per se. When I read that, I was like, does that mean like the competitor is no longer able to compete?
That is, he'll have to change his name to Jack Mutant.
Okay.
Or Rawgate Jack Showtime. Yes. Okay. He'll have to change his name. That's actually a really good stipulation. I like that. See?
There we go.
There's 2 more. You just got suckered into putting your Friendo in the Bank up on the line at the next predictions challenge. If you don't win the next predictions challenge, you lose the briefcase. I like this one because then it means the following month is then not for the title, it's for Friendo in the Bank.
Yeah.
And then the final one is the Booker had buyer's remorse immediately after you won Friendo in the Bank, so your cash-in failed in humiliating fashion. You are now the Baron Corbin and Damian Sandow of the Friendos.
Oof.
So a failed cash-in. So we'll find out on Thursday.
Yeah.
We'll find out on Thursday if Jack Showtime will win, lose, push to another time, or have to completely rebrand his character.
Yeah.
Hey, I like that. That was a good one, dude. So, yeah, there's all that.
There we go.
Let's talk about this, man. Naomi cut her first promo as champion.
Mm-hmm. Opened the show as well.
She opened the show. Yeah, a bunch of women's wrestling opened the show. So she comes down. And, the crowd is, you deserve it. They're loving her. She's like, I don't want to hear nothing. Y'all weren't feeling the glow, but you feel me now? So I know you're all sitting there acting like you saw this coming. You thought I was cashing in on Tiffany, but I warned you, nobody knows my next move until I make it, which is why I'm standing here as women's world champion. She said, I'm done with the foolishness on SmackDown. Bianca, take a look at this. I didn't betray you. I outgrew you. If I keep it 100, you and Jade didn't want me to succeed. You wanted me as a friend, a partner, a third wheel, as long as it was convenient. As long as you had the upper hand. Who's got the... And then she said, wait, what? And then she starts laughing because they're whatting her.
Yeah.
And then she just laughs and says, who's got the upper hand now, bitches?
Mm-hmm.
Crowd pops at that one. She says, Jade, you might have got your lick back, but I made history, baby. I might be new around here on Raw, but all you raggedy heifers back there, I strongly advise you to proceed with caution. And the crowd does her catchphrase with her.
Yep.
That brings out Rhea Ripley.
Yeah. So she walks out, stares off with Naomi as she hits the ring, says, one thing you should know about me, I'm not cautious. I'm reckless and I'm pissed. I walked into Evolution with 2 goals, beat Io and get my title back. Now, because of you, I still have those 2 goals, so congrats because you just made it onto my list.
Hey, good job with the pen.
So then Io's music hits. She comes out to a massive pop, and she said, Rhea, I walked into Evolution as women's world champion, but I'll get my title from you, she says to Naomi. Naomi says, you and her can go get your entitled asses out of my face and get to the back of the line. So everyone's arguing. They're all yelling at each other, and then Pierce comes out, says, before it gets out of hand, take a breath. What I have to say concerns all 3 of you. Naomi, congrats. Welcome to Raw. You always make the most out of your moments. The biggest moment of your career. You deserve it. Rhea and Io, I got to say it. And I don't want to speak on behalf of the WWE Universe, but that was absolute magic. It says, in 3 weeks of SummerSlam, the first 2 nights SummerSlam, we need to blow the roof off of MetLife, and that's what we'll do. It'll be Io versus Rhea versus Naomi for the women's world title. Let's go make magic at SummerSlam.
Let's assume for a moment that Naomi does retain at SummerSlam. What next for Rhea Ripley and Io Sky?
That is a good question.
I mean, I can sort of see them just doing a thing where they lose, then the next night on Raw, Rhea comes out, drops a promo, and gets interrupted by some new bad guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or they kind of, I don't know if the draft is still supposed to happen. I know there was a report that it was going to happen after SummerSlam. Maybe they just shuffle and figure it out from there, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Rhea ends up on Raw. Anyways, then we had Lyra Valkyria versus Bayley, 2 out of 3 falls for that Intercontinental Championship match at SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
The chemistry between these two, and as we obviously saw at Evolution, Becky Lynch included, off the charts.
Yeah.
This was awesome. I loved it.
Oh, this was
finish,
so good.
The finish of the 3rd fall was absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
So we get some promos beforehand or some interviews. Lyra's with Jackie backstage. She's asked about her match. She said, I'm so sick of being asked about Bayley. This match puts that to bed, puts it back to me and Becky. Then you can ask me how I feel about my SummerSlam match for my title. Bayley walks up. She says, whoever loses tonight is going to the back of the line. As much as you want this, I need this. Lyra says, yeah, about yourself, as you always have been. And Bayley says, maybe you should stay the hell out of my way. Sort of shoulder checks her a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this match was fantastic.
Yeah, it really was. You can go ahead and run down the major beats.
So first fall happened pretty quick. Lyra with the hip toss, and then Bayley slaps her. And then, like the slap, I guess Lyra wasn't expecting it because she acted like she'd just been hit with like a punch.
Mm-hmm.
Bayley rolls her up, wins the first fall.
Mm-hmm.
Second fall sees Bayley block a headlock. Lyra counters a pinning combo from Bayley with a pinning combo of her own to get the second fall.
Yeah.
And then Bayley immediately hits Lyra with a running knee to get a 2.
This
finish
fall, the finish was
so
just
good.
so intense. And I was pulling for Lyra. This was one of those where it was just so fucking intense that I was just like, oh God, this is just, she's done. And then she pulls it out.
Yeah, she does. So Lyra's on the apron. She knocks Bayley down. Bayley kicks her off the apron and goes for a sliding corner drop kick, the one under like the turnbuckles. But Lyra catches her. But Bayley ends up hitting a sunset flip powerbomb into the steps. So then Bayley heads up top, hits the elbow drop to Lyra's back. She covers. Lyra kicks out. Bayley with a bank statement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In the middle of the ring, and she tries to do the thing that Sasha used to do, where when her opponent would get too close to the ropes, she'd push off the ropes and bring the bank statement back towards the center of the ring. Well, Bayley tried to do this, but instead, when they rolled through, Lyra picked her up for a Nightwing and hit it to get the win.
It was fucking flawless.
It was
so seamless. Out of nowhere. Oh my God. It was just an absolutely immaculate finish. This was great.
It was so good. So well done. So well done. I like the reference to Sasha there. That was really cool.
So Becky comes out after that, holds up her belt. They talk shit. What happens to Bayley now, dude?
I don't think she's out of.
She said in the interview, back of the line, do you think they're still going to make this a triple threat? She can be a special guest ref.
I don't see how they could make it a triple threat. Maybe a guest ref, because they've been kind of doing that a lot lately.
Yeah.
But I don't see. I mean, I'm sure there's a way they could write it, but I don't necessarily see how Bailey gets into it to make it a triple threat.
It wouldn't make a whole lot of logical sense.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And plus, we just had that match that everybody was talking up. So
I mean, it was fantastic.
No, it was great. I just wonder if they're like, hey, let's just leave that as it is, So yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, Bailey said in her, little promo before that, whoever loses this goes to the back of the line. So maybe she just comes out, cuts a promo, and then somebody interrupts her.
That could be. That could be.
Whoever that might be. Anyways. So we also had Stephanie Vaquer talking about her Battle Royal win. Jackie's with her. She says, I came to WWE to be a champion, and La Primera will be a champion. Chelsea walks up, and she starts talking about how it would make more sense for her to go on to represent WWE in Paris.
Mm-hmm.
She says, who would you rather see? La Primavera, which in Spanish means loser, or La Chelsea Green, which in Canadian means winner. And then Vaquer says, if you want to see what La Primera means, take your best shot. And then she says, I'm taking my best shot against a WWE Hall of Famer, so you can look, but you can't touch. And sure enough, we had Nikki Bella versus Chelsea Green. Decent enough stuff. The finish was a bit on the clunky side.
Yeah.
Nikki hit the rack attack here after some finagling to get the win. Afterwards, Piper attacks Nikki. Alba hits a super kick to the face. They wipe her out. Stephanie comes out, takes out both Fire and Niven. And then we had an SVB on Fire. She helps up Nikki, and they celebrate. So, tag match on the horizon.
Seems likely. So we got quite a bit with Judgment Day. First, they're hanging out in the clubhouse. Dom walks in. Finn's got all the titles because he just had them all polished up.
He loves polishing those titles.
He does. And Finn's like, how you doing, Dom? And Dom says, I can't relax. AJ is stalking me. I never know where he is. And Finn says, hey, as long as you got that doctor's note, you're untouchable. We need to focus on lending our support to Roxanne and Raquel. So Roxanne and Raquel, they complement each other for their match at Evolution. And Finn says, speaking of, tonight we've had some issues with Kyrie and Asuka. So I got you some protection from champ to champ. Dom, why don't you go ringside with Raquel and Roxanne? And so he's like, why? And Finn says, we got to show them that we can be united, and Liv loves those belts, so we need to keep them here for Liv.
For Liv. That's right. Yeah. Later on. Oh, okay. So yeah, this was sort of wrapped up in the New Day stuff. We'll talk about what happens later on with Dom and AJ in a sec here. But yeah, we had that match, Asuka and Kairi Sane versus Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. Really good stuff here. We had Dom just getting all involved in this match, distracting all over the place. The crowd was just giving Dom all sorts of grief.
Yeah.
And Perez ends up rolling up Asuka. Raquel adds a bunch of extra weight to it.
It was similar to the finish at Saturday night's main event where Raquel stuck her foot into the ring. A little extra leverage for Roxanne on the pin.
Like a Talatanga.
Yeah. So then we have a Rusev interview backstage. And he says, people call me God. Maybe I am just a saint killing off Irish snakes. But now everyone knows I'm better than him, tougher than him, and superior to him. So then Sheamus walks in and goes, easy, I won't ambush you. But I did speak to Pierce, and he agrees. You're a cheating bastard. We're having a rematch. You don't think we're done yet. That banger was an appetizer. There's more for dinner. You don't even know my catchphrase yet. Banger after banger after banger. And so Rusev says, I came to dominate gold, not gingers.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited about that. It's going to be a good match.
It will be good.
I'm down with that. Karrion Kross got a really well-filmed video package. Where he tells Sami Zayn basically to stay home. So he says, good people of the world, your favorite bad guys are here to save the day. Where's Sami Zayn? Not here. He's hurt. Scarlett, do you believe that? She just says, he's a liar. Kross says, I think so too. We had a talk a few weeks ago about who's a coward, who falls flat on his face and comes back every time. Here we are, and Sami Zayn is hurt. My ass. I think I gave him an ultimatum he didn't like, and now he's full of it. Stay home and don't come back to work before you're ready to tell the world the truth and say the words that Cross told the truth. They should have him actually come out and like get some easy wins against shit opponents.
I know.
You know? Have him do that.
Or, I mean, get some easy wins against actually decent opponents.
Well, I'm trying to be realistic about it. You know, or make an example of somebody else, you know, and make them say the words, I'm a liar. That's what they should have him do. Come out and like submit people into saying I'm a liar. Exactly.
Yeah. So then we have the New Day. They're still grieving the loss of their tag titles. They still want a rematch. So they say they have something to offer Adam Pearce, and Waller's there with them. So there's a serving tray, and Waller lifts the dome part of the serving tray, and underneath that is two toupees for Adam Pearce. Mm-hmm. And he says, you just don't get rematches, but next week we'll find out who the number one contenders are, and yes, you'll earn your spot, so don't flip your wig. And he leaves, and he knocks the serving tray with the toupees over. And Woods says, there'll be hell to pay.
There will be hell to pay.
Good stuff. So then Pierce walks, sees Dom, asks how he's feeling. Oh, it's Judgment Day. Judgment Day's trying to leave.
Yeah, I love this part. This is great.
Yeah, this was good. So then Pierce is like, hey, Dom, how you feeling? You look pretty spry out there. And Dom says, I still have a doctor's note. And Pierce says, well, I called WWE Medical, and you're due for a reevaluation. That'll happen next week. If you still get a note, fine. You're out of action. But if you're cleared, I'm going to make sure as soon as possible to write a contract for you to defend that that Intercontinental title against AJ Styles at SummerSlam. So Pierce walks off. The rest of Judgment Day walks off. The camera pans over and sees AJ on one knee praying.
Praying to God that Dom gets cleared, that he looks over, sees Dom, and he does the eye thing again.
Yeah.
And then Dom says, I got a doctor's note still. And then he says, come on, God, don't let me down here. And then AJ tries to plead his case to God also.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was pretty damn funny, man. I like that stuff. It's goofy, but it's fun.
It is. And that was Monday Night Raw.
That was your Monday Night Raw. Yeah. Would you like to answer some questions?
Let's answer some questions.
I got a text message from the trademark office saying somebody once again is trying to trademark 10 for the win.
Well, good for them.
What are they gonna do with 10 for the win, Larson?
I don't know.
Are they gonna offer us a bunch of money to come back?
Oh, that's funny.
Is Bill Machinima back in business? Nah. Hey, for the right money, I'd stand in front of a camera and talk about video games I don't care about.
Yeah, it would take quite a bit. Let's see here. Ken Adams asking about the Tribal Chief belt they released in WWE Shop. Is that what they're going to give? Is that what they were going to give Roman after beating Solo? So of course,
that's what I read that too. Yeah. That's horrible. I mean, look, I'll be honest with you. If they made a good 4mm thick version of his WTC1 logo on a belt, that might not look terrible. That might actually be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But this business where it looks like the thinnest of tin.
And it's like 3/4 image of Roman Reigns looking off in the distance.
Looking for his car in the parking lot?
And they're trying to charge $600 for that.
Oh my God, I didn't even look at the price. Oh my God.
Yeah, $600.
Jesus. Let me see. I got to see. I got to at least check this.
WWE you got to see if your dude has it already?
No, I'm going to see if it's still on sale. Oh, they still have it. Yeah, they still have it up. I mean, I'm sure this will it's yeah, I'll give my full review at WrestleJuice.
There we go. Something for everybody to look forward to.
Oh boy.
You know how I feel about these titles. I ain't spending that kind of money on them.
Well, not on a title like this.
Any of them.
This thing is ugly.
I can spend $500 on any title.
Joe the Meme Maker says, who do you think was rushed or initially a bad choice for champion, but then surprised you how good they were? Who was rushed or a bad choice for a champion?
Sid.
But then he surprised you by how good he was as a champion.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
When he beat Shawn Michaels.
Oh, man. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about any of these. G Bonker says, "Who's your favorite rapper turned actor?"
Wow, good question.
I mean, probably the best example would be Tupac. He's actually really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was.
There was that Vanilla Ice movie
There was.
that happened. I
Cold as
never
Ice.
watched it. Cold as Ice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never.
You
saw
know
it,
who's
though.
not a bad actor but isn't in a lot of stuff? But of course, brilliant rapper is Andre 3000.
Hey, good point. Yeah.
He was in that Adam Driver Netflix movie that was strange. He had a small role in that.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. I didn't know he was
White
in that.
Noise, is that what it was called?
Yeah, White Noise. Yeah. More importantly, he was in Semi Pro,
Yeah.
and he was fucking awesome in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dave Matushek says, with Cody Rhodes presenting a WWE title belt at the MLB All-Star Game tonight, what other events should get their own? Common's in that Silo show.
Yeah.
He's really good in that. He's really good.
Yeah, he's
and
pretty
he's
good.
in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
He
Common's really good. Sorry. With Cody Rhodes presenting a WWE title belt at the MLB All-Star Game tonight, what other events should get their own belt, and which wrestler should give it to the winner? Who should present a title belt at the NBA All-Star Game?
The Miz. Because he hit that half-court shot in the celebrity game last year.
There you go.
Bailey's
Oh, Bailey likes the basketball.
yeah, she played basketball, I believe. Yeah. Or Amos.
Well, I was thinking of Mas. Yeah. Did Raquel Rodriguez play ball?
I don't remember.
I don't remember. I thought one of the tall women did. Oh, Lash Legend.
Yeah. But what about hey, you're just getting a promotion at work?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Who should
So,
present you with the WWE title if you get promoted from data entry coordinator to data entry manager?
See, that to me says that's the Miz to me.
Yeah.
That's when they send the Miz.
Yeah.
Because it's like this guy spent his whole career just being there, sticking around. Like he
Yeah.
really is kind of if anybody deserves that gold Rolex, it's the Miz, right? That's what they give people when they retire.
Yep.
In the movies they do anyways.
Yep. I don't think they do that anymore, though.
I don't think they do that anymore.
Nope. Broken Soundwave says, just a quick question. What is the best version of Adam Cole in your opinion? The right answer is Undisputed Era Adam Cole.
That is well, I don't know. I kind of feel like PWG Adam Cole when he just used to tell people to S his D. Like that was his literal catchphrase.
Yeah.
That to me is prime Adam Cole. When it's just him and Excalibur trolling each other.
New Japan Pro Wrestling Adam Cole, because that was his best theme song.
Adam Cole wearing a Cole Steen Cole shirt.
Yeah.
That's my favorite Adam
Yeah.
Cole. Again, it's just for me, it was PWG Adam Cole. When he came back and he gained a bunch of weight.
Yeah, that's where the FPOS
Yep.
thing.
It's
became
weird
a
that he
thing.
didn't come back under his birth name, Fat Piece of Shit.
That was Chuck Taylor, I think. Who
I
said
know.
that.
That's still
Yeah.
the best line I've ever heard in commentary. It's weird that he didn't come back under his real name, Fat Piece of Shit.
Like when he came back from injury and he's a little heavier.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, PWG, they were ruthless about that.
They were. Yeah.
Ruthless.
Yeah. But they're all besties, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, they're all friends. Luis here says, what are some notably bad arena or stadium names in history? Power Band Pavilion.
Was it Power Band? Is that what it was called?
Yeah, Power Band Pavilion. They changed the name of Arco Arena. It was Arco Arena, then Sleep Train Arena, and then Power Band Pavilion.
Isn't it wild, dude? Because I was literally just thinking about that the other day. I don't even know why. I think it's because I was thinking of Hilton because he always used to wear those things. Isn't it wild that, you know what would be great? We should do a video. This is so random. Just start up a whole other channel where we just do a video where we dissect a power band. Was it a power band?
Yeah, it was Power Band. Yeah, it's called Power Band.
Yeah. There it is. You're right.
It wasn't even like a Fitbit. It didn't monitor your
so this
your
thing
vitals
was
or anything.
So for people who don't know what we're talking about, there was in the mid-aughts, early 2010s,
Yeah, something like that.
there was this little gizmo, just a bracelet, little plastic thing. I don't know what they thought was going on in this thing or what they claimed, but it was supposed to provide you with some amount of balance. Is what I remember the main thing. But like, and for some reason they were able to raise enough like capital or whatever, money from investors to purchase the naming rights of an NBA arena.
So when the Malou still owned the team.
Which isn't shocking.
Yeah, at that point they needed the money.
Oh, hold on a second. No, it was Power Balance.
Power
That's
Balance.
What it was.
Okay, Power Balance.
It was Power Balance.
You said Balance. I was like, oh, that actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Power Balance.
Yeah, I knew Power Band didn't sound right, but it was just a band.
It was just a band.
So check this out. It says Power Balance is the original brand of hologram bracelets claimed by its manufacturers and vendors to use holographic technology to resonate with and respond to the natural energy field of the body to increase athletic performance. Numerous independent studies of the device have found it to be no more effective than a placebo for enhancing athletic performance.
Well, yeah.
As a result, in 2010, the Australian distributor Power Balance Australia Party Limited was forced by the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission to retract any previous claims. Yeah.
Bunch of nonsense.
Absolute nonsense.
Just a bunch of nonsense.
And yet, as of January of 2022, despite the lawsuits and bankruptcy filings, Power Balance bracelets were still being sold. While their website states the Power Balance bracelets are based on Eastern philosophies, they say, quote, "We make no claims and let the consumer decide based on their experience if the bracelets work."
All right. Disc Golfing Goon here says, I recently found out that one of my favorite all-time teams, Motor City Machine Guns, are also into disc golf, which was a very pleasant surprise. What is something interesting that you guys have learned about one of your favorite athletes, wrestling or otherwise, that you didn't expect?
Oh, man. I don't know. You know what? Back when I found out Cody Rhodes is a big giant Star Trek nerd. Like, he knows the lore. He's deep in the lore.
Yeah.
I'll go with that one.
That's a good one. Oh, this is actually really interesting. Ken Griffey Jr., one of my favorite baseball players ever, after retiring, got into sports photography.
Oh,
both him and Randy Johnson got into sports photography. I think they both were at the Masters or some other golf tournament, one of the major ones recently.
He should hook up with the dude who's producing the Mets games.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
I think I
this-
said too, yeah.
With all the cinema influences.
Yeah, I know. That's great.
That's amazing.
It is so cool.
Charlie Black says, now that Waller and Theory are seemingly no longer together as a team, what should Theory's next move be? Boy, that ended unceremoniously.
What a great blow-off feud that was.
Yeah.
Theory should go back to NXT.
No, he shouldn't, man. I don't want that for him. He needs to just fucking push the guy.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do that, though.
I don't know. I mean, you're starting from scratch here, you know?
Yeah, that's why I thought, let's go to NXT. Ty Moore here says, if you had a number at the end of your nickname, what number would it be?
It'll be a motivational number. 99. Because I'm trying to get down to 199.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 1 million because you want to be a millionaire.
I'd like to be, hey, you know, why stop there? How about billionaire?
Yeah.
And then you could be like, Steve, there's no ethical billionaires. I'd be like, you came here to borrow money, didn't you? Yes, I did.
Can I have half your monies?
You know what's funny, man? All these fucking billionaires, like fucking Elon trying to get to Mars and shit. All I would do if I was like a super billionaire, I would just make myself like the most elaborate indoor basketball court. And I'd just be like, Larson, get over here. I'm paying you $10 million a year just to play basketball with me 3 times a week.
Oh, my gosh. 3 times a week is so much.
Jesse Halsey says, what would you want to direct us to be getting paid more than a bunch of NBA players? I'd be paying you the veterans minimum.
You gave me the mid-level exception.
Yeah, exactly. You start asking for Supermax.
Steve, I'm letting you lose. I'm letting you win all these games. Could I at least have Supermax?
Can I get that $70 million a year that
I want FGA money.
Jesse Halsey, the Suns give Devin Booker like $72 million a year.
I think it was like 75.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, that's a lot of money
for a 2-year contract. Jesse Halsey says, "Who would you?" Oh boy, this would have to be a real. You and I'd have to sit down and talk about this one. Jesse Halsey says, "Who would you want to direct the Stephen Larson biopic?"
I mean, wouldn't Paul Thomas Anderson make the most sense for us?
So here's the thing. I do feel like something that has... What was the last movie he did? Was it the 70s one?
Licorice Pizza?
Was it that? I know he did the Leo one, but that's not out yet.
That's not out yet.
All right. The last couple of his movies seem to be missing that little spark. Like even with The Master, there was some comedy. And even with There'll Be Blood, there's some like really dark comedy in that movie.
There is.
He seems to have lost, even though you thought Inherent Vice would be chock full of it given the trailer.
It was so mirthless.
It really was. So I don't, and you and I, we need comedy in our movie. So like old school PTA, sure, but I don't know if like the latest PTA stuff.
No, I don't disagree with that. I was have the caveat there that it'd be more the style of his early work.
Yeah, right. But like I'm trying to think of like a modern filmmaker. You know what? There's a lot of good like dark comedy in is The Lighthouse. So what's
Robert
Eggers?
Yeah.
That would be an interesting one.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah.
We should get in touch with them, see if he'll direct the short that we're supposed to make at some point.
I gotta write the thing first. I'm on the fucking verge, man. I'm on the verge of writing that thing.
Eugene here says it feels like a lot of wrestling YouTubers have Triple H PTSD, as SP3 put it on Wrestle Talks Evolution Review. Would y'all agree that as a performer, Triple H was overrated?
Oh, wait a second. So is he saying that people that wrestling? What's the implication there, that he thinks that wrestling YouTubers?
Just says Triple H PTSD, but I don't know what the full context of that is. But I guess the question is, do you think as a performer Triple H was overrated?
I don't know. I've seen a lot of different. I mean, by Triple H, yeah, given what they did for his Hall of Fame this year. But like by the general wrestling audience, I don't know. I feel like the opinion is like I've never felt like there is a consensus opinion on his in-ring stuff the way there is with HBK, Ric Flair,
right? Danielson,
Kurt
Angle.
Yeah. I feel like it's always kind of been all over the map. Like the dude has some, we always refer to End of an Era as like one of our favorite matches.
Yeah,
but it's not like. I think of his ladder match with The Rock at SummerSlam as a really terrific match. The guy was capable of really great matches, but it's not like that's all he put on. I was never like, oh my God, I can't wait. This is going to be a 5-star affair.
Yeah.
With Triple H.
It was just as likely to get a snooze fest from him as you would as something really good. Yeah.
So I don't know about all that. I think he was, he wanted to be the top heel of the company for a long time, and I think he pulled that off pretty well. When he had the decision reversed on that Jericho match, I was like, God damn it! I was pretty steamed at the character of Triple H back then.
You were, even though Triple H was your dude back then.
But then he was also not afraid of the unintentional comedy. The Batista thumbs up, thumbs down stuff was just overly funny with him and Flair, like.
Yeah,
being so silly about it. So I don't know. But then he had some comedy that he thought was funny, and it was just awful.
Go Bird says, what stipulation should be added to Cena Cody?
I guess you could make it like a no DQ situation, so
They
Cody would be.
Should make it a ladder match. So the only way you touch the title is when you win the match.
Oh, so Cena can't do the thing.
Yep.
See, if you make it a no DQ, then Cody can be like, John.
Not cheating if there's no rules.
John, I know you're fond of hitting people with the title.
I know you're fond of hitting people with the title.
So I'm going to make sure that I can if I want to this time. I made a mistake by not doing it before. And then you're going to come on my podcast. What do you want to talk about?
And we're going to have some Wheatley. And just bring the curtain down entirely.
Let's see here. Odd Breakfast says, do you think with them mentioning Bailey's losing streak, that it will lead to a significant story with her, like a heel turn or big babyface push?
I like to hope so, but until I see it, I'm not going to make much of them mentioning it.
I hope they do something really good with her. Let's see here.
Sean Jones asks, what's more vital to a premium live event, great matches or great moments?
I personally feel probably if you have a pay-per-view with one awesome moment and a bunch of stinkers, that's going to go down in history. Like its legacy score goes way down where it's like, oh my God, this pay-per-view had nothing but bangers on it. That's going to have a higher legacy score.
I mean, the correct answer is both. You want the great matches leading to great moments.
But it's a binary question. You only get one or the other.
Great matches, the right answer.
Great matches it is. Angel Zero says, there any chance Rhea Ripley does not get the title at Crown Jewel Perth? Yeah, if they just give her a big featured hot moment,
Yeah.
or a big match that's like, got heat behind it, sure. Maybe Perth is going to be where she finally beats Io.
Could be. Nate Cruz says, am I the only one who feels like there's been a lot more shaky cam of late? I don't like it. They got to stop with the damn drones. I got to tell you, man. It was a fun little thing at first.
I will say this about the drones. At the beginning of shows where it goes through like the big crowds and all that kind of stuff, I'm fine with it because it does make it look like, oh my God, what a huge party.
They got to up the fidelity of the camera because much like how when the camera you have, which fidelity wise is great, but you got to color time it in a way that it alters, like the colors and the image. During the entrances last night, so the drone was still going when Naomi made her entrance. And her Tron, was yellow to match the caution tape.
Oh.
But with the drone flying, it was like kind of a green color.
It's not color timed. Right.
And then like the colors are just kind of washed out on the drone footage too.
The fidelity is terrible.
It's awful. And so they cut to the HD footage and it pops.
Yeah.
They got to do something about that.
Yeah, it still looks like security cam footage.
It does.
And I'm kind of surprised that, like, every single Netflix murder documentary has beautiful drone footage.
I know.
Most prestige television shows has beautiful drone footage.
Yeah.
So, like, you would think that they'd be able to come up. Like, you got all that money.
Costs. No, they're just cutting costs, man.
Maybe Triple H likes the security cam aesthetic.
He's like, oh, it's metal.
Yeah, no, look, he's like Punk.
It's grainy and metal. Yeah. He just bought like a $12 drone off Amazon. Said, production, here, work this into your stuff.
It really seems like it. Maybe somebody was like, Mr. Levesque, we have some really, some high cost, really high quality options. And he gets kind of offended because he bought it himself and he was like really into it.
Yeah.
All right, we'll just use this. I just don't see what's the problem with mine.
I think it looks great.
I think it looks great. I just use mine.
It's got a lot of good texture to the video.
I think the pixels work. It makes it look real. Okay, man.
Maybe the idea is like, it mimics the people shoot stuff on their phone.
Yeah, right.
It's like most phones look way better than this, man.
Like what phone? An iPhone 3? What are you talking about, Paul?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Here we go. Well, let's end on this one, unless you've got like a killer question over there. Cameron Shank says, where would you rank the Naomi cash-in?
Oh, wow.
I gave Dope my top 5 cash-ins of all time this morning.
I'd still put Seth's number 1 because it was at WrestleMania.
Yep.
In the main event.
Yep.
Without a doubt. And given the context and what was happening at the time, that's number 1. I think it'd definitely be top 5.
So here's my ranking. I got Seth number 1.
Yeah.
Edge number 2.
Yeah, that's the first one.
Naomi number 3.
Mm-hmm.
RVD number 4.
Yeah, RVD's was great.
And Priest number 5.
Priest is that high, huh?
You know kind of why I put Priest at 5? Because I realize that when I don't put Dolph in my top 3, there are some people who get really mad.
Yeah.
Because people, it's funny because Dolph, like, it's all subjective. And the Dolph one's great. It's just Dolph doesn't really do much for me. And the Dolph one probably has the loudest pop.
Yeah, the Dolph one. That moment is fantastic.
The moment is fantastic. But I always put things into, like, sort of context. And Dolph's never been my favorite. So I'm like, yeah, I'm just not going to put him in there. And then, like, people load up the comments like, what are you talking about? Dolph is great. Dolph's cash-in was great. I'm like, no, it's not.
In a vacuum, it was.
I don't know. I just like, it always cracks me out when people get, like, stuck in their craw a little bit about things, you know, like, oh, Dolph.
I mean, what do we say? People want validation for their opinions.
Yeah. You know can you guess who Dope's number 1 is?
It's not Seth?
No. It's a very unlikely one. It's one that it's one that we wouldn't even rank.
I don't know.
Kane!
Oh.
Because when he was younger, he thought Kane, he was like, oh my God, this guy's really, like, burned. And it was kind of a scary moment for Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
Freaked out Dope.
And that was like, what, 40 minutes after Kane won the briefcase?
Yeah.
So that was probably pretty exciting back then if someone just won the briefcase and then cashes in right away.
Heck yeah. Anyways, that's all I got.
All right.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Till next time, we'll see you guys around.
Goodbye.